we have to jump straight into it today. No preamble, no banter back and forth.
I was going to
no
say,
time.
look at us, we're matching.
Oh my God, I did not even pick that up. We're matching. Oh my God, go to our socials or YouTube. We should just put a red lip on you for our next record, and then who would tell us apart? We look so similar. I hear it all the time. Well, there you go. We did have a bit of fun before we get into the drama. We do have more. It's a drama-filled day. I'm so glad you're here, Em, because you and I have not talked about this huge cultural event now, and you have not been on the spill yet to discuss this.
So sad. I had no one to talk to about this. I really wanted to be on the spill.
You call your parents.
I know. They're like, who?
Who? Brooklyn Beckham? So obviously, yes, if you missed our huge, nearly hour-long recap of the whole Brooklyn Beckham drama where he put up about a 5-slide statement on his Instagram stories.
Felt like 25.
It was there was a lot of text on each slide. He did not double space. Calling out his parents for all of these alleged terrible incidents with him and his wife, Nicola Beckham. So we'll link that in the show notes if you're the only person in the world who's not across and need that deep dive. So now we're dealing with all the fallout. But first, Em, I haven't heard any of your thoughts.
Okay, I have a lot of thoughts.
She just leant back in her chair and kind of took a deep breath just so everyone knows how serious this situation is.
Firstly, believe men.
And let's clip that for social. I can't imagine that being taken out of context.
My poor boy, Brooklyn.
Oh my God, I know. This is, okay. I did say this to a few people who asked me about it, is you know how sometimes when you're like a proper journalist, if you have a personal interest in the case, like if it's a family or friend, you can't report on the story.
Yeah.
That's almost us here.
I don't think we can report
on this. This is
on
a personal friend. So we'll just wrap the spill there for today. I know we're a bit biased.
But I'm also I'm a sucker for these things. Like when David and Victoria came out and their children was complaining about Brooklyn, I think it was Cruz who did the story.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that selfish child. And now this has happened. I'm like, oh, that poor child. And then they'll say something and I'm like, that selfish child. I'm just like a follower. No
You're
thoughts.
a follower of the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's
and
your
I'm
takeaway.
I'll just believe whichever camp spoke last.
Well, in this case, we're getting into all the different fallout and everything. But because we have, what I thought was interesting from Brooklyn's statement is it's all stories that we have talked about over the years on the spill as rumors. And
everything was true.
Every rumor that has ever bubbled to the surface about that wedding and this family and this couple is all what he is saying is true.
No.
And I'm not saying everything happened, but I'm just saying that it leads us to believe that their team, their camp, the Nicola and Brooklyn camp, either leaked all of these stories because they all come out with the exact wording that he has used, or he's very aware of the news cycle. I think it's probably both. He's very aware of all the stories that are out there, so he chose those to confirm because he knew it's what people already thought.
Yeah, and I think in from his point of view, the whole thing, the most interesting thing for me was the whole brand Beckham thing, because obviously he was in the family and he was under that brand, and there's a sense of protection over that, but also I guess a sense of you can never leave that because then you'll be by yourself and then you will never be protected. And I think him marrying someone who's a billionaire, who's part of a really, really powerful family, gave him agency to speak about something he's always wanted to speak about and never felt like he could.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, it's so hard to know because you hear all these different reports.
You just don't know, right? All I want to see is that dance video.
Yes, which we'll get to in a second because a few people have come out with their statements. But on the brand stuff, that is interesting because brand Beckham is the holy grail in this situation. It's the Beckham name it's got so many businesses linked to it. It's got so much cachet linked to it.
It's a company.
And as much as Nicola Peltz was kind of known before she married Brooklyn, but not really.
Not really.
Well, not really. I knew who she was because she'd been in the Avatar The Last Airbender, not James Cameron, Avatar.
Okay.
But that movie
I would have switched sides right there.
You're like, what? She's an Avatar? Love her. Obviously, it's true. No. She was in the big screen adaptation of a very beloved comic animated franchise, which was critically panned, and she's terrible in it.
Wait, is this the first Avatar movie?
Yeah, Avatar The Last Airbender. Not the Avatar.
Not the series.
No.
Stop,
Yeah.
she was in that?
Yeah. She played Katara, and she was not good.
That was her?
That was her. Oh my God, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, because I was a massive, when I was younger, I watched the whole animated series.
Oh my God.
I was obsessed.
That animated series, top tier.
Top tier.
We segue into that.
Oscar quality. Yeah.
No, it is
brutally
Oscar
honest
quality.
review.
No, I wouldn't say no to that. No, it is Oscar quality.
And every kid was so excited for the live adaptation of the movie. So then we all watched the movie and it was bad.
Yeah. And
but now the Netflix series is actually really good.
Yeah, the Netflix series is good. No, I do, not to defend that movie in any way, but she in particular took a huge hit for that. And I was like, she's just a young billionaire girl who wanted to be in a movie and she got cast.
But she's also white, right?
Yeah.
And she was Katara?
Yeah. No, there's
something's not adding up here.
No. Her career started with huge allegations that were true of whitewashing. Yeah. I'm just saying I don't think that the young actress, rich and powerful though she may be, should have been the only person to take a hit for how bad that movie was.
No. I knew the movie was so bad regardless of her being in it.
You didn't even know it was her.
I didn't even know it was her.
But
then she got better at filmmaking.
Did she?
Well, she did
State
that thing,
case.
and then Brooklyn wanted to be in it, and she was like, no.
Oh, yeah, because he couldn't deliver a line to camera. Yeah. She directed a movie. She was also in one of – this is the thing. She kept getting brought into, like, terrible franchises, and then she was also terrible in them, so there was no out because she was in one of those later Transformer movies.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Transformers 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
It's all a blur after the first 3.
I can't even tell you. When you go to a Transformers premiere, your life will change. That's a whole other story. But, like, she's the kind of person I'm like, just be happy being – if I was a billionaire, you'd never hear from me again.
Well, yes. Oh, my God, same. I would not be working if I was a billionaire.
Absolutely
I would have no ambition. I would have no thoughts.
No thoughts. I'll be in my room watching movies all day.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. She was really good in Bates Motel. She should have really rode that train.
I forgot she was.
Yeah.
Why don't I know anything about her? We've been talking about her for years.
No, I know. Well, I guess once she married Brooklyn, that became her whole brand, which I think, bringing us back around, is what Victoria and David allegedly were worried about, that she
just like, we can't be connected to that Avatar movie. We just can't.
Yeah, they watched it. They were like, no. I think that just gave her way more cachet in Hollywood, and it is something that you kind of can't really buy. You can buy it to an extent, but she's in these movies, as you were saying, she's in these big blockbusters. She's very much trying to be an A-list actress.
And also, doesn't she have like a million siblings?
Yeah, there's quite a few
so
of them.
She has to like really break through.
Yeah, she has to break through. But like, so she's in all these blockbusters. She's not getting any traction even though she keeps getting cast. She also is like beautiful looking, but like there's lots of beautiful women in Hollywood. That's not like, quite enough to cut through. And so the one thing, and I'm not saying this was what happened, but I can see from Victoria and David and like all of the people who run their businesses, like because the Beckhams are like not just a family, they're a business. I can see they were like, and now she's going to attach the Beckham name to her brand, which is going to elevate her in pop culture and Hollywood and the entertainment industry in a huge way. And I guess they wanted to block that because then she could start putting she could put the Beckham name on her production company. She could put it on everything that she made from then on. So I guess they were just like protecting their brand from an extension, a Hollywood extension that they hadn't okayed.
Interesting. And I wonder if that like that happened like during the serious part of the relationship. Like I have a feeling like when people of this status get married, I'm like, 50% of this would have been a business decision.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're not falling in love at first sight.
Yeah. I think he's a bit full. Well, I don't know.
Well, I think he's just kind of like a background actor. And then David and Victoria was like, look at this beautiful billionaire. Isn't she pretty? And he's like, yeah. And then she's like, hey, I'm Nicola. And he's like, hi, I'm Brooklyn. And then they get together and then she's really smart and they don't know she's really smart. So then she starts doing all these projects and they're like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah. I wonder if there was a conversation of like what you do now has to go through the Brand Beckham checklist if you're going to be Nicola Beckham. And she was like, absolutely not.
So she was like taking the name, taking her own first dance. How dare she? And Victoria was like, I'm going to end it right here on this dance floor with my son.
Okay, well, let's move into the dance now.
Before we get into the dance, I want a 60-minute interview, tell all, deep dive with Marc Anthony.
Absolutely. Who has become the center of the biggest pop culture scandal in the last few decades.
Oh my God.
Not since Harry and Meghan has like a story of a family feud, a real life Game of Thrones taken over the world in this way. And where is Marc?
Where is Marc?
Where is he? Show your face.
Was he silent or was he silenced? I need to know right now.
I can't wait for his retelling of this. Yeah, because every camp, because obviously now sources have come out from both sides. And I say sources because no one's really putting their name to it. Some of them are page 6, which I'm like, they often do check sources, but not all the time from my knowledge. So I'm not super across. I would believe it more if it was like a People or something like that. But yeah, he's, no matter which way you split it down, either camp, Marc Anthony is the one source that everyone is talking about on both sides.
Yeah. Oh God. I just need to know everything. Also, there were so many guests at this wedding.
500.
Why has no one got footage of this dance?
No, I do believe there were NDAs signed. I think it probably was the kind of wedding where, because even afterwards we didn't see a whole bunch of photos, and like we didn't see a whole bunch of like those unfiltered, candid photos and videos come out, which is what you'd expect from a huge wedding like this. And so I do think there was not only just an NDA, but probably a phones down policy, because the only real content we saw come out was the very curated, staged photos that had obviously been pre-approved and then shared in like a communal Dropbox. That's everyone's like, only share these photos.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So we've had a few people come out. So, well, one is Stavros Agapai, who I'm sorry if I pronounced his name wrong, who was one of the DJs who performed at the wedding, at Nicola and Brooklyn's wedding, who said in like a Instagram comment that he's now deleted that everything about the first dance story is true.
Yeah. Oh my God. I saw that comment.
Yeah. And it will. That's interesting because that is the only person I've seen who's actually posted it just from their account. But I don't think he realized what he was wading into.
Yeah,
because he posted it and he was like, "Yeah, this is all true. I saw it happen." Pretty much paraphrasing. And then the onslaught was so intense because everyone just wants information about this dance. He had to delete it, and he was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Sorry, won't step into anything again."
He deleted it, and then I think he just commented, "I'm glad he's speaking his truth" or something like that.
Exactly.
Okay, wait. I need to picture the dance in my head.
Okay.
What do you think counts as an inappropriate dance between a mum and son? Because like
something I just can say I've never been asked before.
The rumors of like some of the statements that have come out have been like she was like nuzzling into his neck.
Yes.
I was thinking of like a grinding situation.
The videos that people have made of this are so
unhinged.
No,
okay, guys, we need to stop with the AI videos because like there are people.
You thought they were real?
No, but there are like boomers who will be like,
oh, so true.
Like I know I'll be talking about this with like someone like my nana, and she'll be like, "Oh yeah, I saw it. I saw it on Facebook," and I'm like, "Why do you have Facebook?"
No, that's AI videos.
It's an AI video now.
Well, yeah, inappropriately. I thought when I first read that when these stories were first posted, I was like, was she like holding on to him and like swaying in a weird way? I never thought she was doing, because some people are like, "Oh yeah, she likes to twerk," and I'm like, I don't know much about this world, but I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that Victoria Beckham wasn't twerking on her son.
There's no way she's
on the
twerking.
Dance floor. I also
not in front of Marc.
Not in front of Marc. Think of him. The thing is, there's so many videos of Victoria just dancing with her family, which is a weird thing. So take away all the pop star stuff. She hasn't done that in years. And famously, dancing was never her strong point. That's why they always used to get her to just do a walk.
Yeah, like the catwalk.
Yeah, which was great. There's also like the infamous photo of her and David dancing, but there's also photos of her dancing with like videos that the family has posted.
Even videos of her dancing with Nicola.
Yeah, heaps of videos of her dancing like in a fun way with Nicola post-wedding. Yeah. So after the wedding has happened, her and Nicola on the dance floor, like, you know, shimmying and like, you know, grinding on each other. Not grinding, but do you know what I mean? Yeah. Doing a sexy
like
fun
hugging
dance.
And like
jumping
swaying,
around.
Yeah.
And there's videos of her doing that with Romeo when they've just been dancing at home. There's videos of her doing it with Cruz. You know, and I think there are even videos of her doing that with Brooklyn because they post so much from their family life and they seem to just love to dance together. Yeah. So I just wonder if it was like kind of that and she'd had a few wines and you look so horrified. All right, can I tell you what the people have said? So this is a source that spoke to Page 6 who, if it's a real source, does feel like it's coming from the Brooklyn and Nicola camp because they said Marc Anthony, again, the man at the center of the crime.
Oh, God.
Honestly, someone get a deposition for that man.
Yeah, please.
Someone.
Please.
Like, what are the police even doing if they're not questioning this man? What's going
Question
on?
this man, the one guy. I saw a comment saying that we should all, as a global community, start a GoFundMe page for whoever wants to like cancel out their NDA. Yeah, and then we just fund when they get sued.
We will pay NDA. I 100% would contribute to that GoFundMe. So this person said Marc Anthony was apparently supposed to just introduce the couple who were going to dance on a purpose-built stage that had been like erected at the reception for them to dance on. Isn't that the right? That's the right.
No, don't say that.
Built.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, that's what you're upset about. So the source said it was meant to be a big romantic first dance.
Oh, so like a stage came up. Kind of like a Taylor Swift situation.
Yeah, I don't think it rose from the floor.
Okay. I don't know. These people have a lot. I don't know what rich people do with their money.
I've never been to a billionaire wedding. You know what? I'm wrong. Maybe it did rise from the floor. Or maybe they had just like pre-built it and rolled it out. I don't know. Could you believe the person didn't get into details about the manufacturing of the stage?
David and Romeo just like pushing
it over. Cruz is pulling it with a rope. It was meant to be a big romantic first dance, this source said. It was predetermined specifically for Nicola and Brooklyn. This is why I'm questioning a few things, because everyone's just like, no, the dance is Nicola and Brooklyn. It's Nicola and Brooklyn, which obviously is
because
a first
Brooklyn
dance
said
at a
that
wedding.
was the itinerary.
Yes,
like it was time for the dance, even though traditionally it wasn't at the beginning. Like I think traditionally the first dance between a couple opens up the dance floor, but it's been said that everyone was dancing, and then there was a section towards the end of the night where they were going to have their first dance together.
Yeah, it just, my question of that is they're all acting like it was this wild thing that was scheduled. And I was like, yeah, couples have a first dance. It's quite a normal thing. So then they said, which is corroborating Brooklyn's statement, the guest said, who talked to Page 6, then Victoria got up on stage after Marc Anthony allegedly said the worst thing in the world you could say at a wedding, which was, can the most beautiful woman in the room come up on stage? Come on up, Victoria.
And then Nicola and Victoria started walking up, and then Marc Anthony was like, sit back down.
Yeah,
girl.
not you, girl.
I'm talking about Posh Spice.
Yeah. And Emily, at this stage, Emily's just adding her own thoughts to this story.
Allegedly. No, it didn't happen. That was just me. I'm adding some spice.
I know. No, I love it. I love it.
If I was at this wedding and I couldn't say what I wanted to say, but I could kind of like hint at it, I would be adding some spice.
Oh, absolutely.
I need these people to spice this up.
Yeah. I love your use of the word spice there. They then said Victoria got up on stage and wrapped her arms around Brooklyn. So this is a source from the wedding where they're saying, and nuzzled into his neck. Then the guest added, because this guest, all of a sudden, very chatty. Where were you 5 years ago?
Yeah, where were you 5 years ago? This is what we needed back then. Okay, so...
Sorry, where were you in 2022, whenever that was?
I think it was still in COVID. No, probably not.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the height difference. So for her to nuzzle in... Oh, I don't know how high her heels were.
They were pretty high.
But I think for her to nuzzle into his neck, she would still have to reach a little bit.
No, he's not a tall man.
Is he not?
No. He's an average.
Wait, I need to look this up.
This man's like, I've been through so much. I'm just saying, she is shorter than him, but she would have had sky high heels on. She did have sky high heels on with that liquid metal dress that she was wearing.
Wait. No. Okay, he's 5'10".
That's not
which
tall.
is tall.
Okay, no, not to me.
Okay,
but yeah,
tall
sure.
to me. Wait, I need to find out her height.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
I don't know if this is how we're going to crack the case, but
well, no one else is doing it, okay?
Exactly. The police doing nothing.
She's 5'4". Okay, so...
All right. Okay. You've cracked the case, I guess.
Okay, so I'm 5'4".
Okay.
And if she's... No, you're right. If she was wearing heels, she might have been his height. Which means to nuzzle into his neck, seemingly worse, she'd have to bend down. So I don't know. I think that's worse.
Us and a quorum, sorry, Judge. We rescind our evidence.
Get us on this case. I feel like we're getting somewhere here.
You haven't. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it means that it was a purposeful nuzzle. It's not like his neck was in prime position for her to rest her head on.
It's a premeditated nuzzle is what you're saying.
Yeah. So she's hunched down to get into this nuzzle. He's probably like kind of reaching because their heads would have been the same height. Yeah, it wouldn't have looked good.
Yeah, so
I'm glad we...
Why is no
one talking about this?
We've cracked the case.
Yeah, why is no one talking about this? I feel like if we just keep going this way, we would be able to figure out exactly what that dance looked like.
Yeah, well, we'll have to reenact it after. Hey, are we nearly the same height as them?
I think you're much taller than him.
No, I'm 5'11" if he's 5'10".
Oh, okay. I'll put on some heels and we'll see.
All right. Well,
oh my God, we should do this.
Do you want to nuzzle? I'll nuzzle your neck later. Guys, stand by for physical evidence. Okay, we're getting kicked out of the courtroom if that's our only evidence. I'm not even through this quote yet.
Sorry.
So the source at the wedding said, Victoria was dancing with him very inappropriately.
Okay.
She took that moment from Nicola. That is the God's truth. Then they said, Nicola ran out crying. The Beckham side of the room was cheering and the Pelt side was quiet.
Okay, you know what I think then happened?
Yeah.
Okay, so nuzzled the neck, right?
Yeah.
I think a dip was included.
Oh, no, surely not.
Because
she
think
got
about
her
it. Think
dip
about
him.
inappropriately. That is kind of inappropriate.
Yeah.
And took that moment from Nicola.
Because
What's a moment you take from a bride?
Oh, because they always practice that dip and they hold it for the photos.
Yes. I think he dipped her.
Oh my God. So she just.
Against his will.
So you think Posh Spice just kind of threw herself back and Brooklyn had to catch her and then that's the photo. Yes. And then Nicola can't come up and do the second dip.
No.
Because that looks weird.
No, you can't.
So then it's got the dips
You have
on.
to be, if you're the wife, you have to be the first dipper.
Yeah. That's right.
And then she saw that and then ran away. I would have run away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, before that, with all the stuff, the nuzzling would have sent me over. Actually, being called not the most beautiful woman at my wedding would have sent me over.
But Marc Anthony.
This guest is not finished. This is only just one person who's come forward. So then the guest said, Nicola's friends were saying you have to go back down because apparently she ran out of the room for ages, which was a story that came out directly after the wedding.
Yeah, I remember reading it on Demar.
Yeah. And a few, like, it was like a lot of sources are saying that, but no one could get it fact checked, so it kind of disappeared. But this is the exact story I heard from so many people online after the wedding finished. And then she came back down after a while to the reception, and this source is saying her face was swollen and she was sad the entire evening. It was so heartbreaking.
Oh.
But
I feel like all brides cry at their wedding at some point.
Oh, not like, I don't know, not like this. Not sobbing upstairs, being like, my mother-in-law sabotaged me.
Yeah. And she got dipped.
And she got dipped ahead of me. Again, that's just your story. But then there's other sources that have come out to say that they didn't see this and that Nicola and Brooklyn had, also talking to Page 6, that Nicola and Brooklyn had already had their big first dance, and this was just them coming back onto the dance floor to kind of kick it off together. And Marc Anthony called Victoria out, and that Nicola had also just danced with her father. So that is the Beckham story that's coming out. So so it's one of those things. So we're getting two. So no one's saying that a dance didn't happen, but we've got two very different sides of the story coming out.
Yeah, right. Oh, I don't know who. Like, I really want to believe the inappropriate dancing for my own entertainment.
But I also think, because the thing is, I also just don't think, I know that's what everyone wants to see because it's the video, but I don't think that that's the crux of why this parent-child relationship fractured. Do you know what I mean? Because we saw them so many times together after the wedding, looking very happy. Journalists have come out today and said they've interviewed him and the family afterwards, and there seemed to be a lot of love there that they could really see coming through.
Yeah, which is also confusing on why he mentioned it in the statement in the first place.
I guess it is very damning if he was like, oh, I talked to my parents.
It's embarrassed. Like, he's fully embarrassed her.
Yeah.
But, like, also,
this will stick with her forever.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing, this has become one of the big, like, love her or hate her, like, Victoria Beckham is one of the biggest people in, like, music and pop culture from being in the Spice Girls and then from the brand she's built and who she is. Like, she's one of those people where her name is, like, just stands alone.
Yeah.
And this is, like, completely attached to her. Do you think he even thought about that, though? Because you would think he lives in a very different world to us. Do you think he was kind of aware of what he was doing, or is he more aware because he's been raised in that world?
I think he's more aware because I think using the word inappropriately is diabolical. Yeah. Like, that is like career ending. Like, she won't be able to leave the house for a very, very long time. And if he did that, if it, like, the dance was like just like a, like, there are so many sons who are too close with their mums. Like, we all know these men. Yeah. We all know these men. So if it was one of those, that would have been kind of fine. But the fact that he used the word inappropriately makes me think that he wants to put her down, or it was actually just way worse and no one's really saying anything.
Yeah, potentially. It's almost interesting. It's like Brooklyn and his, like, team and, like, Nicola and you also get the vibe because they're so close with her family, that her family are very involved in this, kind of knew where to cut to make the wound the deepest publicly, at least, because there's always been this underlying story that David and Victoria are not the, like, cozy, sweet power couple that they present to the world. Like, obviously we don't know these people, but that's always been out there, that they treat staff badly, they treat other people badly, they treat their children as a commodity. And now I think, like, Brooklyn's kind of opened the gate for a lot of people to be like, yes, we told you so. And one of the people who has, like, been in the news cycle talking about this is Rebecca Loos. Did you see that?
No.
Do you know who Rebecca Loos is?
No.
Are you kidding?
No. Who is this?
So she's the, remember when, I mean, not remember, it was like 30 years ago, 20-something years ago. David Beckham went to Spain.
The nanny?
Yeah, to play for Real Madrid, and that's when Victoria had like given birth to Brooklyn and like moved there to uproot their lives. And then the story came, so she was David Beckham's assistant, and her story is always like, we slept together. Like obviously she knew he was married with kids and stuff, but she slept together. She remembers like waking up the morning after it happened, like being so happy, and then like David kind of shunning her. And the Beckhams at the time were just like, she's a liar, she's lying. But they never sued her or anything, which is always, you know, because people just assume it's true. And she has never wavered from her retelling of the events from the story, but she got absolutely dragged through the tabloids in like the biggest kind of takedown of people being like, again, this is 20 years ago, so there was
it felt very like Monica Lewinsky.
100%. Everyone's like, she's a homewrecker, she's a slut, she's all these things, and like that has still followed her.
And in the Beckham documentary, they didn't deny it again.
No.
Which was really interesting.
They always just skim over it now because I think now they can't, because everyone kind of knows like, yes, it happened. And so if they kind of push for her as a liar, they try and sue her. Like to sue someone for defamation, you have to prove that what they've said is not true.
Yeah.
And because it is true, they don't want to pull at that string. So Rebecca Loos is like, I believe she's not in the spotlight anymore. She's like, she does like, I think she does reality sometimes, and she does, you know, interviews and stuff, but she's pretty much out of the spotlight. She's got kids and everything, her own life now. But she was posting on Instagram, and in the comments underneath on the day this happened, people were saying like, oh my God, have you seen Brooklyn's statement? What do you think? And she was just like, she said basically, the truth always comes out. I'm glad I'm glad truth is finally coming out now. And I'm glad that he has been able to stand up for himself.
Shut
up. She's kind of the camp, and like those quotes are going everywhere. She's of the camp that she's like, I've been telling you for decades how they behave and what they do, and now you're finally seeing it because their son has said what I've been saying for 20 years.
Whoa. That's a mic drop moment.
So, yeah, the people that have spoken...
why didn't we invite her to the wedding?
She walks in. She starts dancing.
Now it's my turn to dance with Brooklyn.
So, like, the people involved with this, the Beckhams, Nicola and Brooklyn, this random DJ guy who regrets his comment, the sources to Page 6, Marc Anthony, and David Beckham's mistress of 20 years ago are all the ones speaking on this and all the ones putting the story out. So, that's been the fallout for the last couple of days. So, but I would say, like, I think the reaction to Brooklyn and Nicola, and like in terms of who everyone's picking a side is what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I'm not really picking a side because I don't know the facts. I believe it's probably
I just told you all the
half.
facts.
I know. Well, exactly. I didn't take your nuzzling story and height difference into account. But it seems like people are very down the line. We are either team Brooklyn and Nicola or team Victoria and David. And it just seems like there's almost enough evidence on either side to corroborate it. But the thing is, I don't think Victoria and David will put out any kind of, like, I don't think they'll put out any statements saying it's not true. They won't give any interviews. People were saying David gave an interview yesterday, but he was at an event. Yeah. And he was getting asked about it.
And he was talking about his, like, children in general. Yes. Like, it was such a non-comment comment.
Exactly, because as he walked into the event, like, there's a whole lot of photographers. And I'm like, what do you think of Brooklyn's statement? All this kind of stuff. And he was like, he's such like a like knows how to be a celebrity.
Yeah, he's very media trained.
He walked down the line. He didn't answer any questions about Brooklyn, but he said to everyone who was screaming in his face, what about your son hating you? He was like, hello, nice to see you. Have a good day. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Because he's very like of the people. Aww. And also Brooklyn will never turn the UK against him because they love him, not just because of the soccer thing. They love him for waiting in line for the Queen's.
David.
Waiting in line for 24 hours to view the Queen's body.
He is
Can't
really
come back
sweet.
from that. There you go. You're so swayed.
I do really like David. Damn it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I just want my boys to get along.
I think at one stage, Victoria and David might say something along the lines of
Beckham Part 2.
Yeah, the doco comes out. No, I think they might just say something at one stage like we love all of our children and just want them to be happy or something like that. But they won't get into the weeds of a back and forth.
Yeah. I want Brooklyn to publish a book, and I want it to be titled The Other Spare.
The sequel. Yeah. I do believe that Brooklyn and Nicola are in touch with Meghan and Harry. Like that I do believe. Just because we know, and like Brooklyn grew up knowing Harry, and as we know, there's been the whole fallout, and like I do believe they're invited to the wedding and all these things that so I do believe that they're in touch. The difference between Harry and Brooklyn though is like Harry and Meghan needed cash.
Yeah.
Like they needed cash to support like their lifestyle, that pay for their security. And Brooklyn and Nicola aren't really in that situation because she is a billionaire heiress.
Yeah, they're just
so
sad.
I don't think that he has to come out and do a lot of those money-making things that Harry and Meghan had to do. One, because they were so desperate to have their story out there. That's why they jumped into the Oprah interview instead of just waiting to monetize it through documentaries and books and stuff. But Nicola and Brooklyn don't have that urgency hanging over them of like, how are we going to pay for security? Because people are trying to break into our house. Fair enough for Meghan and Harry. How are we going to pay for 24-hour security? And so we have to sell all these things and like get a $1 million book advance.
Yeah, and a Netflix deal.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll see Brooklyn and Nicola on the next Baking Christmas.
With love, Meghan.
With love, Meghan.
Maybe they dust that off.
Yeah, as long as Guy's not there, I'm fine.
Oh, do not bring it back to that dead dog. Not today, Emily. It's too much happening.